Hello everyone, this is my capstone presentation for my game which is titled Behind Closed Doors. So without further ado, let's begin. What makes a game like this so inspiring and interesting is the idea that buried treasure could be buried within the confines of a simple room. We've seen in other games that buried treasure could be under the ocean, in a pirate ship, in a cave, under a rock. But here, it's going to be behind a series of doors that all stem from one titled Do Not Enter. An idea to think of what the game might consist of is the mobile app 100 Floors, in which the player will have to complete one, maybe two objectives with no real meaningful choice to get through. However, our game does have meaningful choice. The player will start by getting a treasure map from the concierge of the train station in which the game takes place. Entering the Do Not Enter door will begin the game. The player must navigate through 10 rooms to find the hidden treasure. There is no time base, meaning that there is no transition to the future or the past. The game takes place in the same time period throughout. The rooms will just look different and have different objectives in order to complete them. There are also notes on the wall that the player will have to look at and read. Some cases they will be giving hints, and others will be a bit of a surprise. With any game project, feasibility is of course an objective. Can it be done in this time frame? In this case, it will be 3 months deadline with 4 students to a team. I have provided an example on the slide here in which I can envision the game being done in that time frame. Feasibility is a big part of any game, and I have taken it into consideration for my game. So what makes our game interesting? What will make people want to play it? The answer is very, very simple. Imagine the first room that you start off in is a bowling alley with multiple lanes. We'll say 2 or 3 here. The next room could be something totally different, like a playground or a diner. The overall concept of what's going to happen next, what do I have to do, and where is the treasure located? Is it here? And what do those notes say? A lot of curiosity is the stepping stone for what makes our game unique and interesting. If there's one thing I've learned throughout my time as a game design student, it's that sometimes when you have an idea you really like, your own personal bias can set in. But any good game designer will put that aside. So to answer the questions here on this slide, in my opinion, all of the questions that I have thought of, I have answers to. But like anyone, there may be things that I may have missed, and that is why your feedback is very important to me, as I am prepared to answer any question that anyone might have. So please don't hesitate to ask some questions. And finally, we get to the meat and potatoes, what you've all been waiting for. What does the player do? We could say, in layman's terms, that the player is simply trying to find treasure. But that is not exactly the entire picture. What the player must do is navigate through all of the 10 rooms, trying to figure out what the next point is. Yes, they do have to find treasure, but there are also, like I mentioned before, a few surprises along the way that may hinder or help the player's progress, all relating to meaningful choice.